Hey everyone, it's Andy. Welcome to Stackin It Up, a series of tech transformation talks. Today we have Brian McClellan with us with Mark III. Brian is a DevOps and infrastructure engineer with Mark III. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about how Brian and Mark III have been coping and helping support our clients in sort of the new normal of COVID-19. Big part of what Mark III has been doing is trying to keep our community, our clients, our partners, and our awesome Mark IIIers safe by being sure that we practice social distancing techniques and adhering to what a lot of our clients have done as far as changing a lot of the protocols and how we work with them. So Brian, obviously COVID-19 has involved a significant adjustment in, I think, how we work with our clients and work on some of the initiatives that we have going on internally. Can you talk a little bit about how you've had to adjust to the new normal?
Sure. So, I do work out of the home office a lot of the time, but I enjoy customer visits. That's where we get to engage directly with the customer face-to-face time. That has pretty much gone away. So we're looking to be a little bit more innovative with engaging with customers. We're doing a lot to establish remote sessions, calls, you know, uh, video conference meetings, that kind of thing. But the no customer visits has pretty much been a big change. Also during this time, the kids are home. The wife is also working from home. So that is changing the dynamic of me working from home slightly because I have to work around other people's schedules. So while I've tried to have and maintain a fairly rigid schedule myself, now that pretty much everyone in the household is working from home, we're really having to make sure that we fit those schedules together so that everybody gets enough time where they're being productive and interacting as well, because everyone knows that everybody's in the house, and that's kind of a change in dynamic there. So
Yeah, I hear you. I guess the good thing is that everyone's sort of in the same boat. Whether you're talking about our team, our clients, our partners. Same here. I've got 4 kids in the house as well. I think you have 2, right?
too, yeah.
They're just kind of creating chaos while we all try to work our way through this. So
I'm trying to keep the kids asleep as long as possible. I'm trying to get a lot of work done in the morning, so that's
yeah,
kind of where we're at right now.
no, put in a full day before 9 a.m. No, I
Yeah.
on that one. Awesome. So I know you talked a little bit about how we're helping to support our clients, without actually having to do face to face, which is not allowed in the majority of cases right now. Can you talk a little bit about how you've continued to support them through this challenging time, and also maybe give us a glimpse at some of the creative techniques that you used, and just a high level at some of the ways that we've been helping?
Yeah, sure. So, overall, our remote support techniques, we've had these. They've essentially been established, but it's not something we put into practice a lot because again, we meet face to face. We enjoy those face to face engagements. So really, it's firing these tools up and getting everyone used to them, and whether they're collaborative tools like something in Teams or Zoom or WebEx or virtual whiteboard sessions. We've actually had instances where we leverage the webcam to point at a whiteboard, and we video conference with one of the laptops or webcam pointing at a whiteboard, and we'll actually do some drawings and work off of this stuff. So these are techniques that we're using to assist customers in architectural reviews, designs, break fix, that again, we've always had at our disposal in the past, but really firing them up and getting everyone used to them has been a little bit of a challenge, but we're finding a lot of success in some of these new techniques, and I think that they're being adapted quite quickly. So virtual whiteboard sessions and the collaborative tools are priceless right now in these times.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you on that one. We've had a 3-to-1 engineer to sales ratio forever. A big part of what Mark III has always been about is not only helping design and architect, but also, quite frankly, helping people fix things. Troubleshoot and address whatever they're working on throughout the life of whatever that project or piece of infrastructure technology is. So now it's just that 100% of the time. So on to a subject I think that almost become synonymous with, definitely in our ecosystem, is all around DevOps and automation. So this is definitely in your wheelhouse, and I know you're working on a ton of things, including on your blog, the Ops Corner, which I recommend everyone to go check out. Have you been able to continue working on some of these initiatives? I know that this has been in a little bit of an untraditional time, and if so, what have you been working on around the areas of DevOps and automation in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah. So automation, DevOps, that's usually my forte. That's kind of what keeps the wheel spinning in my head most of the time. I find it's a great opportunity to look at processes for source code management, tighten those up. There's so many online resources, including my blog, that you can use to catch up on skills and brush up on some things to help improve maybe some of the processes and operational processes that are out there. So what I've been doing personally is just recently I think vSphere 7 was announced, so I've been digging into some of the hands-on labs there. I've been looking into the integration for, Tanzu Kubernetes Grid is kind of something I'm really into. So I've been digging pretty deep into those kinds of things. On the DevOps side, I've got a bunch of posts up here recently around Ansible. I'm looking to do some more PowerShell stuff and perhaps some Python modules. So, for me, it's really just leveraging the same tools that, you have at your disposal, just improving current processes. I think the time is perfect to look at, some of the things that you've implemented in the past, review those, see if there's room for improvement in the process or the code, and get a little bit of training time in, especially if you have some downtime now. For those that are extremely busy, I'm available, and for those whitebird sessions and such. So
Awesome. Yeah. A big part of how Bryan helps organizations with DevOps and automation strategies is we try to partner with them, almost establish sort of a pair programming relationship, weekly or biweekly if possible, just because a lot of times working on little iterative tasks is really, I think, the way to be successful, especially as you grow your general organization's capability in this area. So, and then, you mentioned it, and I've mentioned it before. You post a bunch on the Mark III blog, but you have your own blog, the Ops Corner. Can you tell your users a little bit about it? What kinds of things can they find on it? And maybe touch on a little bit about how it can be extremely practical and usable for someone, that reads it.
sure. So my blog is at theopscorner.com. There's a lot of automation on there. It's very heavy on presenting some source code. So we've got some GitHub account and repositories integrated in some of these blog posts where I share some of the code. But for the most part, what I'm trying to accomplish on the blog is my background is completely operational. So over a decade working on large teams from in the infrastructure space. So usually whenever I go to approach a blog post, I do it from a solutions perspective. And what I mean by that is I look at a challenge in the operational space that I see when we engage customers, or from my past, right? Little things that I think could be helpful if you automate these processes. So essentially, if you look at the blog post, it's generally like, okay, here's what we're trying to accomplish. And so we're tying a few things together, right? Whether that's some code, with VMware automation with vSphere virtual machines, or where we're doing workflow connectivities for pipelines, or where we're connecting self-service portals with back-end code. So these kinds of things. Bottom line, whenever I focus on doing a blog post, I try to make it a solution oriented. So it's very much like, here's the goal, here's what we're trying to do. And then we build on that goal, right, with the solution, and we piece it together, a piece at a time. So I think the technique that I use is it's slightly unique, and I hope that it's really more operations focused, so that it can be implemented directly into what people are doing day to day.
Awesome. Yeah, I know we almost have coined a term internally, I think called ops dev, which is sort of the opposite. This is actually your idea. But DevOps is such a broad universe. It can be at the app layer with cloud native apps, but it can also be down to like, how do I stand up hardware quickly? How do I do inventory management? How do I do service management, et cetera, which is all obviously in your wheelhouse. So awesome. Well, thanks again for your time today. Can you tell everyone real quick how to reach you if they have any questions and want to reach you directly?
Sure. I'm Bryan with a Y, BRYAN, at markiisis.com. And you can always find my blog posts and contact information at theopscorner.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
See you next time.